Hey Patreon, once again guys, back in the lab working on a shotgun type breakdown for you guys. I'm actually going to be using the pistol formation as my base formation, and then I'm going to be going ahead and jumping into this normal Y off close because it's got some really cool plays. Another formation we're going to jump into is going to be the stack halfback weak. I don't like to put more than maybe 3 formations into a mega scheme just because I just find that sometimes it's just hard to get to that 4th formation. So if you limit it to just 3 options, this will help you try to open things up a little bit better for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the primary formation. This is a formation we're going to call it a huddle because it's got a very effective run. It's going to be pistol, and also what's cool about it is we're going to leave all of our audibles the same. We're not changing anything at all. All we're going to do is out of the huddle we're going to call the wheel switch. Now, the other formations we're going to access in the scheme is going to be a normal Y off close. This is one of the first formations you'll be able to access with pistol. And this has got some repetitive formations, so the wheel switch is going to be somewhat repetitive as the previous play. So we're going to swap that out, and we're going to swap it out for a play which is going to be this play, the Y sail. And then the RPO zone alert Omaha. I don't want to do that. I want to go ahead and use another play, which essentially is going to be this red zone scissors. This has got some pretty cool concepts for you. I've shown this to you before. Stack halfback weak, once again, very light on audible adjustments. We have the levels. We'll leave this in. RPO zone alert screen. We're going to leave this in. And we're going to leave the play action jailbreak screen. We're just going to switch out the fade out with this particular play, which essentially is going to be the curl switch. It's a very glitchy play. This play, the red route is very hard to stop, and it's one of those routes that you can really annoy your opponent on in fourth down situations. So let's just go back, reset. Out of the huddle, we're going to go ahead and call this particular play, which is going to be the wheel switch, and then we're going to kind of go from there. Now I'm going to run against random nickel defenses, and we're going to go ahead and pull this ball back to basically about like the 40-yard line or so. So the 50-yard, yeah, we're going to put it right here on 35, so it kind of gives you an idea on the distances that we have to go with. Now, out of the huddle, I want to go ahead and call this play. This play, I've had some really good success with getting some big yardage. I'm just going to go and streak up Brown and make the following reads. I'm going to watch Brown to see in the seam. If anybody falls in the seam or he gets manned up, I'm not going to look to make my next progression. If it's zone and he's wide open, I'm going to go ahead and take that quick shot right down the middle of the seam. The next read is going to be watching Thomas and Gibson. These 2 routes get past like cover 2 coverages, and I'll drop it down to Gibson. And if this is completely manned up, McLaurin on the backside will actually do a double move, and if I low ball it, I'll be able to go and complete him for a route. Samuel's route, I don't look to it at all, but if I expect a guy to run a lot of man coverage, I'll use a whip route on the backside. So let's just go ahead and take a look at this route concept. I should have thrown it to a little higher guy, but let's just go ahead and take a look at this again. We're going to go ahead and streak up this guy and go from there. Now, what's cool about this here play is that wheel route by the tight end basically would get past like cloud coverages that play hard flats, and a lot of times what's going to happen is you'll be able to get some pretty big yards for that. And if the defender plays over the top, I just drop it down to the running back underneath. So let's just go and streak this guy up, and here is the inside whip, which he didn't hold on to, but I wanted to go ahead and get that aggressive catch over the middle of the field. Streak this guy up. Watch for the seam if it's not available. And here you go. So right there against any kind of a man read, you've got that the double move that's going to basically get you. Let's go ahead and see if we can hit the right side. Nope, it's not coming to me because I'm getting all these man matching principles right now just with the defenses are coming out. So let's just go ahead and do this again, and I'm going to move on. So it looks like right now the CPU is not giving me that route. I'm going to go ahead and probably show it to you one more time, and then I'm going to bounce on to another coverage here. Let's see if we get cover 2. Okay, so we don't get cover 2. All right, so here. What happens a lot of times is that you'll see this tight end, and even though I didn't get the animation, it just took me a little bit longer for the guy to do this. this guy will come out, he'll come up and play it, and then he'll bite down to this running back route. So if you're anticipating this guy biting down, you can throw this ball, and then you can get a huge completion down the field because this guy has to play over the top coverage, protecting this route right here. And as a result, you can basically get these two routes right, get this route underneath to get a big play. So even though I didn't come down with it, you can see he had the leverage. It was just a star defender over there that made that play. All right, so another way I'm going to run the stick spacing play, and this is a play that I use a lot. But here's the cool thing about this formation. Take a look at the tight end audibles. Tight end audibles play like a fullback that's behind the line of scrimmage. So you've got wheels, you've got swing routes, you've got check and releases, you've got outs and curls, option routes and stuff like that. So this particular scheme is unique because you can actually go ahead and put a wheel out there with your tight end, which is something you historically don't actually have. So this is how I like to run this particular play. I've run this play before in the past. If I see a man read, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and check it down to the running back. If it's zone, I'm going to go ahead and check it down. But my first read essentially is going to be the red route on the left-hand side, and then I just make my progressions from there. Okay, so because I did not have the wheel with the tight end, that messed up my reads. So here's, you got two quick adjustments, man coverage. This is going to clear out that zone defender for you. If the zone defender comes down, I can throw over the top of him with that double wheel out there. Now here's this might be just a little bit faster progression against man coverages. Okay, so you can see I can just keep hitting it. So I'm just keep getting the wheels from the CPU right now. I'm probably going to have to jump into an alternative coverage just because of what I'm getting right here. So okay, here you go. Get man coverage. You look to the seam off to the left. So let me go into instant replay. I'm showing you my open field progressions. The first progression we'll look for is this guy and see if I get man coverage. 9 out of 10 times, unless this gets usered away, this is going to be easy progression for an easy read. Now, with all the other action going on off to the right and off to the left, your opponent's not going to try to defend this seam right here. My next read essentially is going to be this wheel route. I've also, what I'll do is I can put a short hitch or a deep curl on this side, but because this guy's coming out, I can go ahead and check it down to the running back too. So I basically had two different areas of the field that I can hit against my opponent with really fast, easy progressions. So we're going to put a small little hitch right here just to kind of give us a little bit of a levels difference, but this is why I like this here play, is that you can hit your opponent right at the seam and actually go from there. So I showed you the other side. Now let's go and take a look at bench switch. I ran multiple different versions of this play, and because of the issues, I can't put this guy on a drag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put him on a wheel, and I'm going to go ahead and try to attack the backside of my opponent. So I'm going to streak up Samuels. I'm going to do a drag with the other wide receiver. I'm going to put Thomas on a wheel route. Now, if it's man coverage, a lot of times this wheel route will get really naked coverage right there. And I've got the other thing that you do. So you want to try to still force your opponent to defend that one side. But what's cool about this good play is that you've got basically your sail concept going off to the left side. So if you're attacking your opponent off to the right, you can jump into this and actually go ahead and make him defend the other side too. And he's still going to see kind of the same type of a look. See the defenders all clear out, and I'm just going to jump and dump it down. Now if he's playing hard flats, I just hit the corner route over the top of that. We're going to go ahead and see if we get that. Probably not. Let's see here. Here's your corner that you can hit, force it in there, but there's your concept. You're hitting your sail concept off to the left. You got a wheel on the backside if he gives you a man read. Now here's the greatest play in this formation. It's the pistol. It's going to be this play action post shot. This is like most post shots, but once again, we've got this special unique route, which is this wheel route that we do from our tight end. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to drag up Samuels to give us a check down underneath. And then if I want to give myself some additional time, I'm going to go ahead and block my running back. But what's going to happen is the quarterback is going to step forward really quick, and then he's going to go ahead and fall back. My first read is going to be the wheel route, and then I've got this crosser and the backside right there, and I've got the route that's going to be over the top. So I've got some massive block sheds right here, but I want to show you really what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this guy first just to see if he's manned up, because sometimes I can throw this ball right over the top on the seam and actually get myself a one-play touchdown. My next fast progression is this route underneath, and that was probably the area I wanted to go with it. But you can see I was trying to force it to the back side, which is this route, because once this route gets up to a certain depth, it gets real flat and usually gets separation with man coverage. Now, based on the blitz off the edge and my tackle just doing Charles Leno, basically lifting his blocking assignment, I couldn't get that ball off. But you can see, I can tell you that with a better team, you can definitely have that type of stuff going on. So let's just go and see this. I had it right there. So if I would have blocked my running back, I wouldn't have got tied into the animation, and I actually had a huge play available to me. So let's just go ahead and see if we get it again. And outside right there, the defender doesn't play it. So now we're just attacking the outside, and against man coverages, this play becomes really, really crazy. So let's just see if we can get this off. Here we go. Great play by the defensive back, that star player out there making plays. And my offensive line is just getting manhandled. But this is what's cool about this particular play right here, is that you have this slight, small little passing lane on the sideline that the computer doesn't play correctly. And it will cause your opponent some craziness that's going on the backside. So you can see right here. Here we go. Come on. Turn it up. You can get some pretty huge yards with that. And then you've got the big post going over the top of the coverage. That is going to get some really, really crazy animations right here. So I had to go and get rid of it. There's pressure coming in, and my guys are not holding on to any of these balls right now, even though it's hitting them in their hands. So these are these plays right here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the guy over the top. Let's see if we can. There we go. All right, thank you for pulling through for me, John Madden, on the last play. So let's go and jump into the next formation, which essentially is going to be this formation, which is going to be mesh spot. I like to just go ahead and just do a curl route off the left-hand side. This is just kind of working the mesh spot off of both sides and just hitting a little hitch on the outside against my opponent. I want to force him to put some cloud flats out there, or some guys out on the outside. And then I've got mesh concept underneath. But I'm going to just check it down and try to go and take that. If he gives me any kind of man matching principles, I'm going to take these yards, take those yards all the day. Let's go ahead and take a look inside zone. Nothing spectacular about this play, but it's nice to be able to go and change things up a little bit from a little bit of a different angle. So if you've got a guy that uses from one side, you can audible into that real quick and catch him off guard. Y sail, one adjustment. I'm going to go ahead and put a whip route here. So this is a dig whip underneath. But my first read is going to be Thomas, because a lot of times what happens is he just gets wide open in the middle of the field, and I can get an easy completion. So I'm going to go ahead and look to that seam route. The seam in this formation is going to be huge, but I'm trying to build off of it. So I've got myself a flat route with the running back underneath, and I just threw it right into coverage. I didn't even make a read. I just threw it right into coverage because I wanted to just throw it, because that wasn't a good decision by me. But let's just go ahead and do this again. See if I get the flat. Flat's available, so you can go and hit that. That was the right read. I should have went up to the tight end after that. And then I've got the whip in route off the back side. If I anticipate him going into man coverage, I've got the whip, and you've got basically to be able to hit your opponent right over the middle of the field. So he's got to chase one side. He's got to chase the sail concept off to the right, and you got the whip on the backside. I like that. I like the Y sail play. It's a really, really complete play. Now, what red zone scissors, we're going to streak and go ahead and take my other wide receiver and put him on a slant route. First read is going to be Brown. Brown's going to be my first read. If he's open, I'm going to throw it to him. If not, I'm going to go ahead and look for the crosser, or just check it down. And then you have that route by the running back, which will get crazy separation too against man coverage. So let's just go ahead and see if we can hit this again. Our setup. against man coverage. You can throw, you anticipate that pass off the left, you can go and hit that. If you want to, you can just basically go ahead and do a deep comeback route and have basically a streak route, and this will kind of open things up for you. I basically didn't throw the ball quick enough. I didn't anticipate the out. I was actually watching to the left, so that's why I didn't make a play on that. So that's why I do like doing this setup, because I can make my progressions from right, and I know that slant is coming back to me in case everything gets locked up. So watch this route right here. Running back route is just crazy. It gets like man matching principles. He's going to get crazy, and he'll be able to go to the sideline with that particular route. Slant in the backside here, and here's your opportunity where you can get a huge play right down the middle if the defender comes down and opens that seam. So you can watch that seam, show you in an instant replay what I'm looking at. I'm watching the seam first. This is going to be my hot read. This defender pulls out of the area. This guy is floating up. I know I'm going to throw that. There's not going to be anybody in the area. My next progression essentially is going to be this running back route, because he's going to be he's going to be in a nice little area. And on the back side, I've got this guy clearing out the zone, and I've got the slant on the back side that's coming around. So if he's using these guys, he's trying to take away these reads and chasing this dude, I've got the slant on the back side that I can hit that he can't defend. So those are those plays right there. All right, so let's take a look at the last formation. It's going to be the gun stack. We've got basically an RPO inside zone. Once again, you can jump into this if you want to go ahead and run to the opposite side. You got an inside zone to the left side, an inside zone off to the right side. So you can jump into that if you catch your opponent off guard. Here's a jailbreak screen right here, and really what we're going to do is we're going to watch Brown and see if the defender actually floats up. If they float up, I'm going to check it to McLaren, or if they come down and bite on the ball, I'm going to go and hit Brown. And that's the right read was actually going to McLaren, because the guy's bounced up into zone. So let's just go back to that play one more time. I still was able to squeeze it in, but it was actually the bad read. So I'm going against a double A gap defense. What defenders are going to drive me crazy are going to be the actual double A gap guys. They fall back in the zone, so we're just going to go to pop this guy underneath. So this is just a nice little gimmicky play to throw into the scheme. You know, there's really wasn't any better plays that I like too much with this. Levels. This is how I like to run this. I want to go ahead and put the swing route with Gibson off to the right, and I have a deep comeback route with Brown. I'm not watching the guys off to the left, McLaren and Samuel. I'm not even looking at those guys. I'm watching everything off to the right. I know those guys are coming back to me if I need to throw to them. My first read essentially is going to be this underneath route by the running back. I want to force my opponent to actually consider that as an area that I can go after. Set this up, and then I've got basically these routes on the backside, which is kind of like a delayed levels concept that I can hit against my opponent. So set this up once again. If I get single coverage, I'll hit that. If not, I can wait for those route developments to actually do that. So you could have a guy that's going to use this, but with some of the other plays that we're going to throw into the scheme, it's going to be very hard for him to use this as long as you're not spamming one particular play over the other. Now, against single coverage, deep comeback route can be very deadly against single coverage. So if you expect him running man coverages out there, you can hit that deep comeback route and keep him guessing. So my guess, Brown has got single coverage against him. Just going to go and throw that ball and just try to make a play right there with the deep comeback route. So that's forcing your opponent to defend the right side. Now, last play here, curl switch. This is a really, really goofy play. I want to go ahead and do basically a flat in route concept. This gives me another read off to the right, just to keep my opponent honest. But the player I want to look at is Samuels, because the way this play is designed is that it's very glitchy, and usually that route is just going to be wide open for an easy completion. So this is a great play to have in your back pocket if you need basically 10 yards. I just got a block shed right there. I just had to wait for that route to develop. Just one quick audible so I can build off of that in on the other side. We're watching Samuels because he just gets in a really glitchy area of the field, which is very hard to stop. Really don't have to make many progressions with this. I'm just watching that red route because he just messes up the zones, and obviously if you got a fast guy that's got good rack animations, you might be able to go house with this particular play. So this is a really cool play. So we're gonna go ahead and once again look at this particular route. And look how he doesn't get covered. So it's just like it's one of these naked little routes that is very hard to stop. And it's good to have this in your back pocket if you need to get yourself a first down, because he's not going to be able to stop that route. That's what I love about it. And I'm not even really concerned about what all the other stuff I got. I got myself a nice little inside zone route. I've got the table route underneath it. So he's got to stop that one route, and then I've got all these other complement routes on the back side of it. This is what I love about this particular play. We'll see what's going on with Thomas and Brown off to the right. But here you go. You got your in route on the back side that you can hit against your opponent. And I got that flat pulling an outside defender out there. So that's why I love this particular play. And it's a play that you really could go to a lot. And it's going to force your opponent to just have a hard time stopping it. So I just love it a lot. So guys, once again, you could flip these. You could flip this formation and take these plays and go the opposite direction. So there's a lot of flexibility with it. But this is going to be another formation. This is going to be a mega scheme that I'll be using online, and I've actually had some pretty good success with these plays already. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. Until next time.